episode of Turn of the Millennials podcast. I'm Stephanie.
I'm Lindy.
And today we are joined by Prime from Prime Nostalgia Podcast. Welcome. Yes. And today we are going to be talking about two movies, one franchise that is actually celebrating 2 anniversaries this year. We have Men in Black 1, which is celebrating its 25th anniversary, and Men in Black 2, which is celebrating its 20th anniversary. How does that make you feel, guys?
Old.
Very, very and old. Young. Yeah.
Right?
Because I do remember when this movie came out, and I do remember seeing both of them in theaters. I think I probably still have the stubs somewhere. Probably. I'm a hoarder. I keep everything.
I don't keep everything, but I do keep my stubs because you just never know. So those I do keep for sure.
Yeah, I'm not the only one.
I used to keep them back in the day, but not as much anymore. Now they're all digital too, so it's hard to keep stubs too.
This
true,
is true, yeah.
But
That's
you know,
true.
The kids nowadays
all movie stubs.
I don't go to movies that often anymore, so
the kids nowadays will never know that joy of collecting. I guess that could be part of your millennial moment, actually. Kids will never understand the joy of collecting movie stubs from all of their movies.
Or not having the option to rent them at home when they're still in theaters. I find that super odd to me. Growing up the way we did, right? Like having to wait for them to come out on DVD or VHS, and now you can even fucking rent them at home before they're even out of theaters. I find that just weird. The future has arrived.
All about money. It's all about money. So
yeah, all metadata.
Nail head. There you go.
Right.
Yeah.
So, basic little synopsis. These movies star Will Smith, Tommy Lee Jones, and Rip Torn as the main 3 kind of Men in Black guys. And then there's there's a bunch of girls that are brought in for the different ones. So there's Linda Fiorentino, I think it was. I think in the first one. Is that her name? Yep. And then in the second one, it is Rosario Dawson. And then basically they are a secret organization that no one knows about, that they track and kind of contain aliens, and then Will Smith basically joins them. That's the synopsis of the movies. In a nutshell. Very quick nutshell.
Basically, Tommy Lee Jones kind of recruits Will Smith's character.
Yes. In the first
something like that. Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of.
Well, I love the opening scene to this movie. I think it's fantastic. Where they stop the van.
In Mexico or going over the border.
On the border.
Yes.
Yeah, where all like the illegal aliens hang on that.
Because they are legit illegal aliens.
Yeah. But it really sucked because we were watching it on Amazon Prime and they didn't have subtitles for the alien language or even the Spanish language.
Yes, I agree. We had the same thing.
Any of the different languages in the movie, I was like, I don't remember what's going on.
Me neither. Like, especially when the guy talks about Orion's belt in the restaurant, there was no subtitles in that, and I was like, I got no idea.
I vaguely remember that conversation from when I was younger.
This movie was actually released July 12th, 1997, and it earned $589.4 million in the box office, and it spawned, well, at the time, one other movie, a cartoon show, and then later we had a third, and then now a fourth in the franchise.
Yeah.
I don't think the fourth is canon, but we don't know.
Yeah, we haven't. Yeah. We'll see, because I think they're going to try and make a new one that maybe might bring it back around somehow, but we'll see. I also read somewhere that they're trying to do a live-action TV show for Men in Black as well when I was in my searches for this. And also the other one I heard, which would have been amazing, is a 21 Jump Street and Men in Black crossover. Channing Tatum wanted to do it so bad.
I would love that.
That would be... I love 21 Jump Street. It is so funny, so I think the two of them would be hilarious.
Will Tommy B. Jones be up for something like that though?
I don't know.
That would be the most interesting part.
I know Channing Tatum said that he would be all over it, but they didn't really say if anyone else from Men in Black specifically said, it would be good. And then they got scrapped like Hollywood always does. The cartoon show, I actually watched the cartoon for episode 1 of the cartoon today as well, because, I had to. Which it actually had 4 seasons, which I was quite surprised about. And then as I was watching it, I kind of vaguely started to remember being on the Kids WB. Because I was like, at first I didn't remember the cartoon at all.
I think it just had 4 seasons just because of how popular Men in Black was at the time, and they're just like, well, we'll just give you seasons. It's like a lot of shows just had seasons because they were just things you could just put out quick and watch. So it was nice.
Right? Kids just absorbed everything. We wanted all of the pop culture references.
Yes, especially like a WB show Saturday morning. Just put it on. This is a great show to watch Saturday morning. So
yeah,
I can see
Animaniacs.
why.
Oh, I loved watching that one on WB.
Yes, of course.
Yep. So
Anyway.
I guess in kind of the opening of the first one, I kind of loved like Will Smith's like just his outfits. They were just so. I specifically had like there was the orange like parachute jumpsuit stuff or whatever, and then he had like the red jacket with the Tims when he goes into like the tests and stuff, and I was just like, oh, I love his outfits. They were so 90s.
Very 90s.
Yes.
Very 90s.
I was so excited.
Yeah, the matching like wind tracksuit.
Yeah.
Orange one. He had the jacket tied around his waist, and it took me a second to realize that his jacket was not part of the pants. Because I was like, what the fuck is he wearing? And Aaron had to explain. He's like, it's a windsuit. He's got the jacket tied around his waist. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I was
Outfits,
like,
man.
Right.
I was 14 when
things.
the movie came out, okay? Like, and it's been a while since I watched it.
Luckily, I found with this one, like it was pretty good. Like I was quite good with watching this one. Although one thing I found funny is they called him Zed, not Z.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Versus everyone is like JK, but Zed is usually they make fun of Canadians for saying Zed and the Americans say Z, and I just thought that it was kind of funny that they used Zed for him instead of like JK LM like everyone else they do.
Maybe was he one of the first ones that he just like we do full names and then I guess they couldn't start thinking of full names, so they just went to letters. Maybe he is like what 1,000 or something years old, so maybe right? Wasn't he like 1,000 or old?
I don't know if they mentioned it. I just know he's the oldest kind of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't recall them mentioning his age.
Okay. Yellow parachute pants, black colored.
We got a really great line from Will Smith in this. I can't remember if it was in the previews or not, but I absolutely love the line where he's like, "I'm NYPD, that is knock yo punk ass down." I'm like, that is so Will Smith. I fucking love that line. I get chills that line every time I see it.
I feel like that was when he was chasing the
guy
alien, right?
Yeah, before he was recruited by Tommy Lee Jones' character, by Kay. Jumping off of bridges and shit. Like, now that's one cop that goes above and beyond. Good for him.
I love how the other cops are just like, they see him running and they're like,
they hop and pop, they're like, we'll get you.
You go get him. And then Tommy Lee Jones and his pie. He's like, we need pie. Let's go get pie.
Always.
That was in the first one? Why did I remember
Was it? I thought it was in the first one. Don't they go? Or he goes
I know for sure it's in the third one.
I know he says it at least once. I know he says it at least once in the first one, but it was more prevalent in the second one.
Yeah, so that before he recruited them, they go to the diner or something.
That was how Will Smith kind of like fired his partners.
Yeah.
He set them for pie and he neuralized them. Yeah. Which, how much would you want a neuralizer?
Quite a lot.
How handy would those be in real life?
Superb.
Very handy and very dangerous.
Right, in the wrong hands, dangerous, but in the right hands, very handy.
Like, what if you forget like how to read or something? Like, what if they just take all your memory from the wrong thing away? I don't know.
And like they say to the doctor, he's like, how many times have you done that to her? Is that going to cause any damage to her? Like, exactly. If you do it more and more to people, the more you neuralize them, is it going to cause something long term? Do they know these effects?
They won't know. So, hey.
Right? I guess ignorance is bliss.
Is it implied that they got that technology from the aliens, though?
No, I think in the second or third one, they do explain, they go back and explain kind of how the neuralizer comes about. I do remember seeing that in one of the ones I was watching.
Well, I don't recall it in the second one, and
so it must be the third
one. Last time I saw the third one.
Okay, so
the third one was way too bad for me.
It was 2012, I think, as well. So it was like many years later as well when they tried to, I think, reboot the franchise.
It was the third one was just weird in general because like it wasn't Tommy Lee Jones, it was Patrick Warburton, I think.
Yeah, it started out with Patrick Warburton and then he fires him with pie.
Okay, no, sorry. Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin,
sorry.
Yes, Josh Brolin.
But,
which is weird.
But then also, isn't it like they go back to young K instead of?
That's Josh Brolin. Young K is Josh Brolin.
It's young K instead of Tommy Lee Jones, which was weird.
Didn't it turn out that like K was was responsible for the death of Jay's dad when he was like 3 or something. Like
not responsible, but he sort of takes him under his wing at that point. Like he sees his dad die or something, and so it's like, hey, here's this, and takes him under his wing or something at that point.
Oh, sorry, the third one. I talked about the third one. Oh, he definitely took him under his wing and then normalized him and said, "Oh, your dad is a soldier," or something like that, and then just like I guess sitting back to his mom. I don't know how that worked, but
right.
He did neuralize him as a kid.
I think they were just trying to, like many years later, bring it back around, and it just didn't work.
Yeah. Will Smith openly said the third one, that's why he probably won't do another one, because the third one wasn't how he liked it.
Yep.
So,
I could see that.
Understandable.
Makes sense.
He knew what he was talking about. It wasn't my favorite.
No. Yeah, so basically we start out with, I guess, Tommy Lee Jones recruits Will Smith into the Men in Black. Basically, the first movie is all Will Smith basically trying to get acclimated into the Men in Black, how things go, all the processes, and learning about aliens, and how we've got Michael
tests and stuff first, and with the rest of the military guys that were there for testing, who all failed miserably.
All just failed miserably. And I love what he was doing in that scene. And he's like, why did you shoot Tiffany in the head? And just the reasons he starts listing, they were just so funny. I laughed so hard.
You were right.
I agree. He wasn't wrong.
That's exactly what he was supposed to do. And for those reasons.
Right? It was just.
And he totally had a point. What is a little girl that young doing with like such advanced textbooks? She was onto something.
But what about like Hermione Granger? She could have textbooks like that, though.
She's a witch.
So I guess it's still the same vein. Alien, witch, it's all the same thing. I've been watching Harry Potter the last week. I'm sorry.
I do like the scene where he pulls the table over and it's just like him dragging it, and then they just looking like
he's logical.
Right?
Logical.
Because all the other awkward men are like trying to like find on their leg or on their like how to do this test without a table, and it's just screech all the way to his
I want to meet the worm dudes,
the little wormy guys.
They were making coffee.
Okay, sorry, okay, so in the third one there's like a big worm. That's what I thought you meant. Sorry.
Well, that's what they call them in the movie. I personally don't think that they're worms. Like, they don't look like worms to me.
No.
They are, I know what you mean. I don't know what they are. I would say more like
like the arms and like the no spine. Like they have no
buggies. They're more
bug. I would just say bugs, really.
Yeah, they look more like just giant bugs. But I mean, they seem like a fun time. I really got a question why Will Smith said "Don't fall asleep," though, when he left Laura with them.
I mean, would you want to fall asleep with bugs?
No, right? But that just made my thoughts go in a lot of different places. I don't know. But anyway, so after the testing, he tells him the catch, right? They go on a little walk, and they tell him the catch of this job.
Yeah. So
and it's basically like a really lonely life, and I don't think that is something that I could do. I couldn't give that up.
I mean, like, it's not a complete lonely life. Like, you don't get a traditional family, but you kind of get this Men in Black family with your partner, so it's a different kind. But I know what you mean.
But like, there's absolutely no mention of like his friends or his family. Like, is he like he was an NYPD? Like, he's got to have cop buddies and like just people he cares about, like that care about him, and he just fucks off. What if they see him someday like walking down the street? What are you gonna do? Just neuralize him? Because no, you didn't see me.
I mean, I'm assuming from the story he doesn't have parents, or his mom and dad probably died, and then maybe after that he just like, well, I'm just a LAPD, so maybe his family don't like him or something, maybe. And then
we know,
like, you know what?
We know his dad has passed, so
yes,
maybe his mom passed too.
Yeah, if it was that easy for him, that his mom had to have passed, because it's not that easy if she didn't.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that easy if his mom was still around, but I feel like sometime within the time of his dad and his mom, she probably passed, so he doesn't have many friends. And it seemed like the other police were just kind of like, go, so maybe he doesn't have like the best of friends in the NYPD.
Yeah. Because, I could
see that overachieving.
Yeah, I could see that being like, he's not a brown noser, but he's too good of a cop, so like the shitty cops, like,
jealous, don't want to hang out with them or something, you know.
No, I can see that. I could absolutely see that for sure. I mean, the guy jumped off a fucking bridge to catch a perp, like, and then ran up that fucking. Oh my god!
The circular thing. Yeah.
He got to the roof and he barely broke a fucking sweat.
That's Will Smith.
He was just a little.
Will Smith, yo.
Damn, yo. Damn. Good fucking training, yo.
And there was one little note that they were saying when they were talking about something of the music, and he's like, this little thing where we'll play CDs. Tommy Lee Jones is like, I have to replace the White Album again. And I was like, that's the story of our generation. Like, cassettes, CDs, MP3s, having to replace, like, all of our stuff just on different things. And I just thought it was so funny that even then he makes note of that, and that was, like, 97. And that was, like...
Even Tommy Lee Jones just listening to his music, just all calm.
Yeah, he just wants his music, yo.
I wish I wrote down what Will Smith said about his music, because I know he said something snarky about it, but I don't remember what.
I'm just gonna say I really enjoyed Tommy Lee Jones as like usually they have straight roles where he's like the very straight, like he don't like laugh, he don't like smile barely. He just the whole time.
Like he can hold it together.
Yeah, I did actually read a note about this. He was a little upset that he had to be so stoic-faced throughout it because he wanted to be a little bit more comedian, but they said that if he wasn't stoic, it wouldn't work. And it's like, exactly. So because he's so stoic, it just kind of, that contrast just works together with them. But
he was so really funny. He just, I don't know, like a lot of the way he delivered his lines so stoically, that's what made him funny. Because he just says these lines just like, so like la la la, like nonchalantly.
I can see like the second one, because technically he's not an agent in the second one at the beginning.
No.
So they could at least made him do something funny at that time before he became K again. But you know, I guess whatever's in the script, especially the scene where they're unveiling everybody's like Biz Marquee and all these aliens that he worked with, that he's like, oh, I did not know anything.
Yeah, it was so blissful that they was like, why are you so comfortable here?
Everyone who works in the post office is basically an alien. And as a child, that was the funniest line to me because my dad was a postie most of my life.
So your dad worked with aliens?
No doubt. Some of the stories he come home with, I'm like, yeah, you fucking work with aliens. Definitely an alien, for sure.
And then at the part where he puts on like all of the suit or everything, I specifically remember when he's like, the difference between you and me, I make this look good. And they used it to like wildly promote this movie like everywhere using that snippet.
Definitely was in every single trailer.
Yeah, every trailer, the McDonald's, like I think commercials and stuff like that when they were advertising toys and that, like everywhere. I
just like the scene. I just like how he's like, well, let's go put it on. What? Like the last suit you're gonna ever wear. It's like, okay.
And then I love how they brought that line back in the second one. And he's just like, again.
If you notice at the end of this one, he's wearing a different style of black suit. So clearly it's not the only black suit he's ever going to wear. He's clearly wearing a second black suit.
Also, my question, so what happens when their suit gets dirty at the mission? Do they just keep it on, or do they have like a dry machine that just cleans it?
I'd imagine they have like changes. I'd imagine like Men in Black has some sort of room or like a team of employed people whose job it is to replace dry, clean suits in their lockers or something.
I would just like the joke of them going and like them having different suits, but obviously it's the same suit.
Mm-hmm.
And them looking like, what I'm going to wear, even though it's the same. I would like that joke, but they didn't do it. So yeah,
going through their closet, being like, which black suit will I wear today? Basically,
when he was choosing his clothing.
Yeah,
you said for Free Guy, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You've seen that stuff, right? You watched
Ryan Reynolds?
Yes.
Yeah. I watched that one.
Video game, okay.
I just feel like the last 2 years, because of COVID and being stuck at home, all the movies and everything have blended together. So I'm like, I think I've watched it. I just got to remember. So much content.
That's fair.
So much content. Fair.
Yeah.
I also, in honor, just because it was funny watching the Twin Towers in the movie, like in the background, it's just whenever you're going back and watching all these movies and seeing them, you're just like, oh, like it's before, you know.
I yelled drink.
Drink.
Twin Towers, drink. Doesn't matter what we're watching. You see Twin Towers in the movie, you see a drink.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of old New York movies and they are in there and it's like, they are so prominent in these movies too. So,
yes. And I was like, I remember at the time, like when it first happened, they're like, oh, we're not going to show these movies that kind of show, or anything that showed like the Twin Towers. And it's like, well, you've just cut out like a whole crap ton of movies, or you have to really cut them down for taking those scenes out.
Yeah,
Like,
just leave them in. Like it's a part of history.
especially sorry to go off tangent.
We
I'm
tangent
so
all the
sorry,
time. Don't worry. We tangent
but
all the time.
I don't know how big in the comic book movie y'all were. The Spider-Man movie had to get cut because of the Twin Towers. It was like,
Yeah.
oh, that scene would have been
There's
great.
a note in the IMDb thing about the first Men in Black having a scene with the Twin Towers, or the second one maybe.
Second
second
one was
one.
2002, so that would be that one.
There was going to be like a flock or whatever of alien ships coming out of the top of the Twin Towers, and that's why the movie is so short.
That makes sense. They were in New York, and the Statue of Liberty was I guess the point in it.
Yeah,
right?
Like the neuralizer thing. Yeah,
interesting. That would make
that's
sense.
why it's such a short movie.
And then for the longest time, they never played The Simpsons when they go to the Twin Towers either. That one never got played forever.
The left towers are jerks. Right towers are jerks. That's all I remember from that one. Oh, and the crab juice.
Do you want Mountain Dew or crab juice? Ooh, I'll take the crab juice.
I'll take the crab juice.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
Baklava on a stick, right? Is that what it was?
Something like that, though.
Anyway, back to the movie.
There was something I noticed when we were going through. Apparently, Vern Troyer was the baby alien. We saw his. I don't know if we saw his name in the credits or something. And all of a sudden, I was like, "Hey, wait! What?" When I was going through, like, because you just watch it at the end, and I was like, "Wait."
He played the baby alien.
Yeah,
that's adorable.
So I thought that was interesting in the first one.
Interesting.
Wow.
That baby alien was so cute.
Right.
Stuck its tentacle. Will Smith probably didn't think it was adorable being covered in like whatever that was. Gross. Ugh. But cute.
I will say I do like this world of aliens because they got so many different kinds of aliens.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't even talked about this yet, but the bug dude.
Yes.
Edgar?
Very real life. Looks disgusting. Like they did Grill with it, making him look horrible.
Yeah, just disgusting. Gross.
Yes.
Skin falling off is like, like
he was wearing dead skin, so it was decomposing as the movie went on.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That is something I never fucking noticed until I watched it like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I know he got grosser and grosser, but I never made the relation to it being because he's decomposing.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's wearing a dead meat suit. Like
just such the
way
he holds his mouth.
The makeup team did really well with that.
Yeah.
Really, really well.
Yeah, then
Edgar, what a fucking dick. Whatever. That was gonna happen to anybody. I'm glad it was him. What a dick. Misogynistic piece of shit. Sorry. I have feelings.
Linda gets triggered quite often. It's okay. Yeah, his wife was also like just kind of, like she was like surprised, but she was also just like not surprised. Like she was still so like, I don't know. I feel like if someone came in with my dead husband, I would probably be a lot more not so okay with it. Like she seemed to be. I don't know.
Well, I think that would have been the years of abuse would train her to not ask questions. Maybe. And so she said the whole thing where your skin is falling off your face and he's all like, is that better? And then she fucking faints because, I mean, what the hell else are you going to do?
Yeah.
So better?
Aliens are funny. I'm just going to
say aliens. They're totally among us. They're
totally so snarky in movies. And it's just like, sometimes you just have to laugh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like Frank the dog.
Paul. Fucking love Paul.
Yeah. Yeah, I love
I know. Different movie, but still.
Yeah. Yeah, they like I said, they have them like all different kinds. They've got like the Frank and it was all different ways of life too. Like there was the Frank who's the dog, there's the pawn shop guy, there's just everybody from anyone you would, and they're like, well, usually it's cab drivers. It's like they make these like references to who these aliens are, and
but then they end up being super famous people like Oprah and
Michael Jackson
and Dennis Rodman.
He's not
Dennis Rodman. Yeah, he's not an alien. He's just weird.
No, Dennis Rodman's an alien.
Oh yeah, no, that was why I explained it. That's what it says. That's why I explained what it is.
He's like, oh well, Dennis Rodman's from that planet. We'll get him to put in a good word for us. They're like, oh, not much of a disguise.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great joke, though. I'm sorry,
right.
It's a great joke.
Great joke.
Which some kids may not know Dennis Rodman because he's not relevant nowadays. Showing our ages again with that one.
That makes me feel
right. Him and was it Carmen Electra? I think it was.
Yep.
Oh
yep.
Gosh.
Or where he married himself. Was that him?
I think that was him. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
And then also I found it funny when they go into the hospital the first time. It's David Cross from Arrested Development in that. And then when we were watching, I think the second one or the third one, he's in it again. And he plays the guy who has the alien shop or whatever the movie's in that.
Oh, yes, he played. Yes,
yeah, so it was funny that he was the same guy but two different characters. The girl in that one is Julie the Cat from Mighty Ducks too.
Yep. Julie the Cat Gaffney. Yep.
Yeah, Julie I think the Cat Gaffney.
Yeah.
I think one of David Cross's like first like roles.
Oh.
First handful, I think. But yeah, no, because I saw that and I'm just like, wait a second, he's in the second one. I'm like, wow, he's really young in this.
Like, I mean, so little.
Like, fuck. Like, look how young Will Smith is in this.
That's true.
Like, he was
in his mid-20s, I assume?
When he filmed this, I believe.
Will Smith?
Yeah.
I would say 25, maybe.
Yeah, like
I was going to get late 25, and now he's like in his early 50s, right? So, or 50.
50, yeah.
I think he's 52.
Like he is several years older than Uncle Phil was when Fresh Prince started.
Uh-huh.
I hate when people say things in those terms. Oh, it makes me feel so old.
Yeah. Well, I can't take that back. It's out there now. Sorry.
I know. It's one of the things where you're like, it puts that nail in the coffin of feeling old in that moment. You're like, oh God. Like when you're like, oh, I'm the same age, or I'm older than my parents were when they had me at this age. And you're like, oh God. Like, oh, that hurts. Like those type of things. Yeah, we're old.
Well, that's part of the podcast stuff.
I know. Exactly.
If we didn't feel old, we wouldn't have a podcast.
We wouldn't have a podcast. It's true. And can we also talk about the Men in Black song also? Like,
of course we can.
The end credits came on and I sang every word still to this day. Had it all down. Didn't miss a beat.
I did. Oh, me too.
Oh, yeah.
I know this is late. I just went back and looked. Will Smith was actually 29.
What?
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
So, all right then.
Wow.
Well, still young. He's
still young.
10 years younger than I am now, so.
Right?
Fuck you, age. Oh, Jesus.
The Men in Black songs, actually. I miss when Will Smith would do a movie and he would have like a hit song.
Yes.
For that movie.
Yep. Wild West.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that song. I still love that song. I don't care what people say. I love that song. It's on my playlist.
Yeah, and I was at the mall yesterday. Friday I was at the mall and I was walking in a store and I don't know what station it was. They were playing a 90s station and then Men in Black came on and I'm in there and and then there's like all the kids in the store had to have been like 15-year-olds because not one of them had a clue what was going on. And then the girl behind the counter is like, "Oh, how can I help you?" And I'm like, "Nothing. I'm just feeling old in my age." And I'm like, I'm rocking up to the song. She's like, "Don't worry, girl. I got you on this song too." And I was like, Thank you for feeling me."
But, and this is probably a given, I probably don't even need to ask, but which song do you prefer? MIB or MIB2?
I almost forgot about the Nod Your Head song until I was listening to it. And I was like, what? I forgot it at first. And then I was like, this is a rockin' song. It's so good.
I gotta choose the first one.
I gotta say the first one because of just the female singer.
Yeah.
Slide like that one.
Yeah, I believe it's I want to say it's Coco from SWV. She's
okay. Yep.
Okay.
So I want to say it's her or it's somebody from SWV.
One of the girls.
Yes. So, but yeah, she added so much to that song, so I would give her props. So.
I just really like songs that explain the choreography.
Just slide, right foot.
Making that work.
The walk is a little difficult, but I got it down.
Yeah. All right.
Will Smith have a lot of songs like that, but yeah.
Before they go to the hospital stuff, though, why do they go to the hospital? Because fucking Edgar goes and kills like 3 people at this restaurant because he's trying to find a fucking galaxy that he wants to destroy.
Oriion's belt is what they're told. The galaxy is on Orion's belt. That's the only clue they have.
And the only note I made from the scene was fucking poor Raymond. The server that he folds in half and shoves under the thing. Like, he was just doing his job. He didn't have to kill him. He could have been all like, go on break. But no, he's a fucking cockroach. He doesn't fucking know about our lingo about breaks and stuff. Yeah. Killed Raymond. Bastard. Just saying.
And then the kitty.
I'm glad nothing happened to the cat.
Right. I know. I couldn't handle if something happened to the cat.
I remember watching it for the very first time. I'm like, don't eat the cat. Please don't eat the cat. Because kill whoever you want. Leave the animals alone. That's what I say.
Oh, sorry,
I feel like him and the cat and the dog should have been like co-stars or something. I don't know why. They could have had a spinoff. Yeah, not as like a spinoff or like a short or something. Like they could have capitalized
at the end of the movie, kind of like something like that.
They could have capitalized off of having a cat and a talking dog somehow, some way.
Right.
Especially if it came out that the cat could talk.
Right.
I mean, it stayed with his owner like the whole time. So I think that cat's an alien.
I thought the cat was gonna be an alien. Like I thought this whole time the cat was an alien, and maybe like they were brothers or something. Like you know how like I don't want to just say one show where alien goes into a person. Maybe they were like brothers, and he just so happened to go into a cat,
and the other one into the dog.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Yeah, I feel that.
That made sense.
Yeah, they definitely could have capitalized off that. Yeah. I would have watched the shit out of that. I love Frank. Frank's hilarious. When he like starts singing, I feel so bad. Like I sang along and I'm just like, fuck yeah. Yeah. Oh. I love Frank. Frank's amazing.
Or when he starts singing Who Lets the Dog Out? Who Lets the Dogs Out? I think in the second.
Did you know that in the second one they had to put makeup on his gray fur?
Yeah, because he was getting too old. Poor little guy.
7 years between the two movies.
Right. I feel like they had not a Frank, but like they tried to have another dog say it was Frank in the fourth one, I believe.
I could see that one because
I only watched it once, and it was a while ago, so I don't remember. Maybe, possibly. But
so the second one was actually released July 3rd, 2002, and it earned $441.8 million, and it had Johnny Knoxville in it as well, which I thought was kind of funny for the time, but it was kind of.
Just watching Jackass like the last fucking 2 weeks.
Like that, yeah. I think that was kind of his like crossover of like I'm gonna try and get out of the Jackass and try to get into the movies. Or
Keanu Reeves auditioned for that role.
Really?
I'm not sure if he could have pulled it off.
Right?
I mean, Keanu Reeves, but I don't know.
Oh, I think also Robert Downey Jr. also auditioned as well for it. Imagine Iron Man.
Well, he wasn't Iron Man at that time,
right?
I'm not gonna say anything. Yeah.
Can I just like have like one little note to go back to the first movie, where the scene where they're trying to get information out of Frank and Tommy Lee Jones shakes the dog. Mm-hmm. You can see that was an actual real shaking of a real dog. As an animal lover,
he's just
I
playing.
Hated that scene. Unless they did it slowly and then sped it up to make it look like he was shaking him fast, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
But I watched that and I'm just like, Tommy Lee Jones, what is the matter with you? Like, why would you do that? But it was also 1997. People didn't really know any better.
Well, and it's not supposed to be a dog. It's supposed to be an alien. So he's really trying to shake the alien.
I know, but when you're an overthinker and overanalyzer like myself, and I'm just like, this is making a movie that is a real dog they are using, not an actual alien. Just saying. That's
true.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I needed to mention that because it made me mad.
We've gotten better in learning how to treat animals. So yes, that is true.
This is true.
This is true.
Yeah, and at the end of one, Kay says that he wants to leave the Men in Black. He feels like he's kind of fulfilled his time, I believe. And then so in the second one, Will has trying to replace his partner basically. Because the girl from the hospital was his partner at the end of the first one, and then she just decides to leave to go back to the morgue. They say, I believe.
Yeah, like she missed her old life, and he just kind of nudged her.
Yeah.
So did they just not want to pay her? Did she just want to raise her in the life story, or what?
I'm not sure if I saw anything about like if the actress, maybe the actress didn't quite get along or something. I feel like maybe that might have been it.
They just wanted to go in a different direction.
I feel like that might have.
Why bring her back if Kay was just going to come back and replace her?
Yeah.
Right? So they
I
would
would
have had to
say,
come up with a storyline that Will or that Jay runs through partners like socks. Like,
I feel like if they would have brought her back, then maybe, not to say that they would not have brought Kay back, but that maybe they wouldn't have brought Kay back to be his immediate partner.
Because they still
Like
need
maybe,
Kay for the whole. Because he was the agent that was at
they need his
this.
memory.
Yeah. So they needed him back for his memory, but maybe they brought him back for that, but not his memory, not for actually an agent purpose.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I just love Patrick Warburton crying at the beginning of that, when he's trying to like break up with them or whatever.
I love Jay pointing out the ignorance of humans and being all like, guy busts in here and tells you that there's an emergency and tells you to move to the next train to the car and y'all just sit there. Like, you don't listen. That's why he almost died.
I mean, he's true. He did say all that, and then they were just sitting there.
Yep.
And then he had to stop himself. He was like, you know what? And he flashed him again. He was like, you know what? This is a test.
Yeah, thank you for participating in our test, whatever.
And I do love what he's saying, like with the woman, and he's like, let her go out, get some makeover, get some clothes, like do yourself up and give them a good backstory. Don't just neuralize them and let them go to shit. Like let their lives be better when you neuralize them. Like good on you, Will.
The second one is probably my favorite. No, he got two in the second one that I really like, but the first one is the one where he's talking about well, is the Julie the cat and the other guy. He's like, you should take her out. You should do something. You should move out of this house. You know what? The whole part is just hilarious to me.
Take her to
on vacation.
Get her a lobster dinner. Pay more than $1.
And then I love that he's like, okay, mom, and then he picks up the shovel or whatever it is, or like the weapon to kill her, get rid of her.
Oh, it's like that's not what he meant. Like,
the second one I like is the one where they just bust into this house and the family is there. He was like, and by the way, just let her stay as long as she wants. The world's by the end anyway, so just let her stay up. Like,
that little girl in that scene was Tommy Lee Jones' daughter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. A lot of the cast family members made some cameos. Will Smith's kids were in it as well.
Interesting.
That's funny.
Yeah. I did not know that.
They were just part of a couple of kids like looking up to the sky or whatever when like Edgar's thing was flying, his spaceship was flying through or something like that. Just little things. Interesting fact. But how awesome would it be to have like a hidden room like that in your apartment, filled with weapons?
Right? No. But you didn't know it.
No, I am obviously a little bit younger, but it's like Spy Kids when that came out, they had something similar to that.
I'm still waiting for those dehydrated meals to pop up like fucking McDonald's meals.
Yes, I need those too. But that's the scene.
They can't tease something like that and then not create it.
Not deliver.
Like, they got their fucking self-tying shoe things from Back to the Future.
Yeah, but look how long that took.
Yeah.
Still.
It's like 30 years.
Took 30.
Well, then give it like maybe another 10. If they're not out, then we'll riot.
Okay, yeah. So you got some years, Lindy. Just hold up there.
It has been 20 years since Spy Kids, so hey,
we're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah. They have 10 more years, guys. You have 10 more years.
We'll get there.
Like,
so one thing I did say, I noted from the second one, Will says that like he will see you again, but you won't see me. To like when they're talking to people, they're like, oh, will I see you again? He's like, yeah, but you won't see me. But then they want to get Kay's memories back. So really, does neuralizing always necessarily keep your memories gone? Or is there a way that, say, like someone, a psychoanalyst or like someone who goes like psychic could like go back and help you unrelease those memories after you've been neuralized? It was just an interesting thought.
I would say yes, but then again, you don't know what you're looking for. So
it's true.
You can't really. Now, maybe if somebody asks you, what were you doing, this day, this time, then maybe they can pull it out. But if they just go in to say, hey, I think I got neuralized, they won't,
Yeah, it's not like in that episode of Buffy where Willow went inside Buffy's head when she went all catatonic when Glory stole Dawn. Okay. Like she went in and was looking for something specific and she had to just keep doing that loop until she found it.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't be something like that. It would be way more difficult, I would find. Plus that was magic.
Well, and also, like, what if they did randomly see him walking down the street and she's like, hey, that guy looks familiar.
Yeah, that's true.
Weird things.
We talk about the flushed thing. Oh my god, how about every goddamn one of my fears in one scene?
What? How's that all of your fears? Getting flushed in water?
Suffocating, claustrophobia, drowning, like not really buried alive, but like, you know, or something. I don't know what it was.
It's like squirrel.
But no, like seriously, because like, what if happens like something happened and you got stuck? One, you can't move your arms, so I'm being restrained. I'm claustrophobic. I can't get out. I'm in a tight space. I'm underwater. I'm gonna drown and die and suffocate and die. Like, no, thank you.
I think everything in Men in Black works thoroughly though, so they don't have no reason to worry.
Right? Nothing goes bad. They have good quality control.
So I'm a huge skeptic. I really don't care how advanced your fucking technology it is. It could fail.
Yeah.
That is my thought process. Sorry. And that blue liquid, ew, gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, no.
I like that they called the one species. It's funny, the one species that they called them the Balchinians.
That one, I remember the first time seeing that was great. I laughed so hard.
Right. I was just like, what's happening? And then he's like, poo.
Oh, good Lord. Oh.
Yeah.
We as girls can't really understand the concept of that, but it's so funny.
We can feel for it, but we'll never actually feel it. Just like men will never feel pregnancy as well. So it's a give or take. We both can't feel some pain. But we can empathize, I guess.
How do you feel about that, Prime?
First of all, it's a well-placed joke, actually. I will say that. But there's another joke. The two movies are full with jokes. So the one I like, that's not even like it's a throwaway line, is when the car comes and it's driving itself.
I think I had it.
And he was like, "Does every car come with that?" He was like, "Yeah, mine used to be black, but it used to get pulled over." I was like, "That's a funny like throwaway line." It's just.
Yeah, I totally had that one written on here too.
Oh, you did?
I had that, and I was like, "That's hilarious! I love it."
It's hilarious, man. Like,
did you read the IMDb thing about that line?
No.
What happened?
So that was an ad lib. So that was something Will Smith wrote, and everybody, cast and crew, fucking loved it except the director. Or the producer, maybe one person, whoever was in charge of doing the trailer. So when the trailer came out, he made sure that line was in the trailer, so it had already been out and exposed before the movie came out because he hated that line.
Interesting. And we do
trailer just so we were already saturated with that line, so we wouldn't think it was funny when we saw it. Which, sorry, failed.
Still funny.
Right?
It's a funny line.
Still funny.
Especially in context.
Right. And we do know that there's a lot of times where a scene will be in the trailer and it never appears in the movie.
This is true.
Or it would be altered, or like it'd be a different line or something. Yeah,
it'd be slightly altered.
Yeah, from a different angle or something, from a different shot or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, or it's just not even existence at all.
Which I sometimes like that, but then I sometimes get annoyed by it too.
Because I'm like, I saw that and it was then you want to see like the rest of how that scene plays out, but then you never know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, I wonder how it got to that point or what happened after that, and then they never fucking touch on it, and it's just like, well.
And then when DVDs first came out, we were sold on the idea of deleted scenes to maybe like see some of these.
Oh, all right. Oh.
Did you just get hurt a little bit there?
I did. Okay.
I've apologized.
I apologize. I didn't mean to. To hurt anyone, but I just remember when they came out, we were sold on this idea of DVDs
having all these
having the deleted scenes in them. So I was hoping that I'd see some of these deleted scenes that I might have seen in trailers, but some of them never came on the DVDs, and then I got sad.
You want to think about when VHS first came out too, or not? Oh no. Oh.
I don't know when VHS first came out.
Sorry.
Because now I'm curious.
My first DVD that I bought was Gossip, and my sister's first DVD was Coyote Ugly.
Mine was the first two, Bill and Ted.
So I think that was like, DVDs were like 2000, maybe 99.
I don't even know if I can remember my first one. The first one I remember vividly not that I just got was The Incredibles. That was 04. So
okay. Yep.
everything I had VHS for a long time. So
yeah, we still had lots of VHSs in there, but I just remember
Yes.
strictly those were like the first DVDs that we had gotten. I don't even remember how we got them, but I just remember those too.
All right.
And then, so another thing that's going to kind of make us feel in the same vein, when they go into the video store to talk to David Cross, it's got the like video store, Be Kind, Rewind, and then large adult entertainment in the back. The back rooms at video stores.
Yes.
Want to feel old?
Funny.
By the 1980s, a VCR was worth anywhere from $200 to $400.
Oof.
What?
That's like what, 5 cents today?
They're you can buy them brand new for about $30, I think. 20 or $30, depending, but you can buy them on the buy and sells for.
Okay, wait a minute. You say you can buy them brand new, like as in like
still
people
buy
still
them.
making?
I'm pretty sure you can still buy them new.
Well, the 90s are coming back around, so all of the like hipster kids are probably going to want to have them for like, you know, being
not like a huge stock or anything.
nostalgia.
I have seen them in stores.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And that just makes me feel sad. Because I'm just like, really, aren't there enough like sitting in a landfill that could just be refurbished? Like,
right. Or even in like pawn shops or like thrift stores.
Drift through your parents' basement. I'm sure they still have one. That's where I got mine.
And then another thing that made this dated as well was when they go into hyper mode in the car, and it's like the PlayStation 2 controller in silver.
Because that was the console that just came out.
That's the console that had just come out around the time. Yep.
Oh. All right.
We're sorry.
Oh man.
Sorry, time.
I know.
Oh man.
We feel just as old. Don't worry. Don't worry.
We feel like this is how we cope. We have to laugh about it, or
there's just nothing. Yeah, we just
and
feel so
cause
sad.
more wrinkles.
And then he's like, Tommy Lee Jones is like, I don't understand how to work this things. And then Will's like, didn't your mama give you a Game Boy? And it's like, no, Tommy Lee Jones grew up in like the 50s. There was no Game Boys until the 80s, Will Smith. That was a very like weird line. I was like, come on, guys.
Or it should have been like Pong or like Atari or something.
Right.
Oh, was that another one? I'm sorry, friend.
Atari is like, it's not old, but it's still like,
yeah,
it still was in Will Smith's era. Like Tommy Lee Jones was probably lucky to get Pac-Man.
Right. Yeah.
So yes. Oh man.
Oh Lord. Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay, so I forgot to take notes on the second one, so that's my bad. So where are we at? What scene are we talking about?
Can we talk about real quick? Can we talk about Agent M, Michael Jackson's cameo?
Yes.
Because
I can be Agent M.
At first I thought that was an impersonator because like he doesn't do movies, like he did like 2 movies, and so he don't do like movies like that. So I was like, oh, that's a good impersonator. I was like, oh wait, no, that's him. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I actually read on the IMDb trivia that I don't know if he was offered it or if he was the one that approached them, but he definitely took the role because he loves aliens and extraterrestrial and all that stuff, and he loves the fact that there was like a hoax out there about him being an alien. So he's like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm
played right into it, yeah. And then also Martha Stewart was another one of the aliens as well.
And Oprah from Chicago.
Yeah. I would like I would like it if they would have showed like, even if it was like a montage of like different celebrities, like as not as aliens, but you know, like them talking to them on the phone or whatever, trying to get information about the planet or whatever's going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that
would have been funny. That would have been very, very funny.
Yes.
That would have been a great like roll credits.
Yes.
The credit scenes. The one thing I noted was that like the clues, the symbolism, and just all of those little intricacies that like Kay left behind for himself were just so smart and so like awesome. They were just everything linked. Oh, that was so cool.
Like the ultimate scavenger hunt almost.
Right.
My favorite one though is when Jay is like, okay, so you gotta you pointing at the wall, okay, and you go from the wall, and that whole thing is just here, and the kid's like,
who's stacks pizza boxes like that?
He has a point though. Who stacks pizza boxes like that though?
Right?
So.
Yes, he has a very good point. Very good point. Yes, absolutely. And I love Rosario Dawson in this. I loved her. I thought she was awesome.
Yeah. And then Lara Flynn Boyle was the other one in that as well. She played the Serlina.
Yes, I thought she did really great. She actually replaced Famke Jensen. I forget why, but she had to leave. She already shot. Oh, it was a scheduling conflict with something else.
Oh, yeah.
She got some scenes and stuff, so they had to reshoot with Lara Flynn Boyle.
Yeah, because I think they said there was actually some in there.
I think she would have been awesome in it. But I love where she fucking eats the biker. He tries to sexually assault her, and then she ends up eating him and stealing his clothes. Point 1 for feminism.
And then there was one thing I noted at the end that, like, so Kay said he loved Lorna's mother. So does that, like, imply that maybe they had a little thing together and that was actually her dad? Maybe?
I think Jay touches on that. Like, I think it's kind of implied, but it's never answered.
Right? I wasn't too sure about that. I had that note here because I was like, he said he loves her, and he kind of really makes it implied that they had a relationship or something.
The fact that he cries.
Mm-hmm.
And so does that mean he cheated on his wife who thought he was in a coma? Bro.
Bro.
He was in a coma, so she don't know.
Different areas.
I'm just, hey. Which, also, just sorry to go back to the first movie.
Okay.
Man wakes up from 30-year coma. I mean, is that possible, though?
Right?
Like, seriously?
No, with no, like,
muscle atrophies?
Yeah, like, just up it. Oh, I'm good.
Yeah. Just walking like nothing. Hey, hon.
Like, who's about to be feeding this man for 30 years if he's in a coma, though?
Not to mention, if she's been waiting for him to wake up, was she not allowed at the hospital? Did they have some sort of dummy hooked up to, like, a hospital bed? Like, what? How? Like, I need answers.
But then they show him, like, looking her up and seeing her at a house, and she looks like she's happy and content. So how is she not, like, lived on with another man either? Or, like, maybe, or how is she not living with, like, a family? Like,
I mean,
has she been alone all this time for 30 years?
I would say it is Kay, so maybe that's why he's spying on her, to make sure that she don't have nobody, because he'll, like, shoot him or something. He got a satellite. Maybe he just shoots him as soon as they walk to the door.
Or he was seeing if she did find someone and moved on before he chooses to go back and leave this life.
That is true.
I mean, if she didn't want me no more, if she was happy with another man, why would I leave my life as an MIB person to go back to her?
That is true.
True.
Also, sorry, one more time. Sorry, I had to sneeze.
Bless you.
So, one thing that I'm sorry to go back to the first one, but why did he quit so soon? I feel like that's like for a second movie to quit.
2 days. 2 days. Like, he trained him for 2 days and then was like, okay, neuralize me. You know enough.
Right.
Yeah,
like,
I feel like the second movie would
have
have
been
been
a cockroach?
Yeah.
And then he's expected to train the other girl too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know, I'm 2 days ahead of you. It's fine. I got you covered, girl. Like,
but it's okay. In the end, it was all right. They seem to know exactly what they're talking about at the very end. So,
yeah.
When they find out Dennis Rodman is an alien.
Still hilarious joke. I don't like, that is just one of the funniest jokes. Is like every movie at that time about aliens or something extraterrestrial is always Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
So, yes.
It was the 90s. People just didn't understand uniqueness or different. So, yeah, everyone thought he was weird and alien.
Everyone was still into conforming, not so much nowadays.
We're very much anti-labels and anti, being very individualistic nowadays. Yeah.
Oh, but man.
And then I watched the cartoon today, actually, which was kind of interesting. I only did the first episode, and I found that the first episode was very kind of similar to the movies, or the first movies, sort of. But I understand why you're trying to, like, bring the kids in if they didn't see it.
Yeah, you could do like a different monster of the week. I feel like it was for the monster because there's so much you can do with animation.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to pay for practical effects. You could just make a monster, then just have whatever power they want. So yeah, I felt like they did good by that standard, and it went 4 seasons or whatever. So
broaden out your alien horizon.
But going back to the movie, did you guys happen to notice a very young Nick Cannon?
No.
I want to say I did,
So,
but
maybe.
let me look this up.
So Will goes back to headquarters after he neuralizes
Yes.
whatever. And he goes, why is there a dead whatever, blah, 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 in my terminal? And Nick Cannon comes out and he goes, sorry, sir, my fault, sir. Don't neuralize me, sir.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like, he's young. Probably before Drumline is my guess.
No, I think it would have been right around the same time of Drumline.
Okay, I did see this. I did see this. I would say this is about the time when he was on All That.
Okay.
As well.
Okay. Or
So,
Hang
yeah,
Time, maybe? No, not Hang Time. NYC Guys. Was he the one on NYC Guys?
No, I think that was someone else.
Oh, that was Jamal White.
Yeah.
I think, or Jamal something.
Oh,
never mind, my bad.
Yeah, okay. This is okay. I'm looking at this picture now. Definitely Nick before Drumline, because Drumline he had like the braids. Here he has like he's starting to get braids here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So Drumline is on the way from that scene, and Drumline came out 2002. So
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, so it was right in that sweet spot. Yeah.
Yeah.
But am I a little confused at how fucking Serena took over the headquarters? How did that happen?
Yeah.
It happened so fast, and I've seen this movie so many times, but I just can never remember how she did it.
I'm assuming they have like a alien transport alien thing that you got to check in with. And
Yeah.
I guess she checked in.
I remember her being at the counter.
And there was a Burger King in the background behind them.
Yeah. And a Sprint.
Yes, Sprint store. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember how it goes from there.
She had the other guy with the two heads.
Yeah.
He was there making a distraction, and then I guess once she beat up one of them, quote unquote, then they just all gave up, even though they got advanced weapons and all. But I guess they all just gave up.
Headquarters full of agents and
right.
No.
But then again, oh sorry.
No, good.
No, I was gonna say it was like an alien transport thing at the time, so they were just like wild aliens in the building.
Yeah.
And I guess once one of them went out of control, then they all just like, oh, so I guess we can just go out of control now.
Yeah.
Because they did have to check in and all, but then I guess once one went crazy, they all went crazy, and it's hard to control all these different types of aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And then I guess once you just went to Zed.
Yeah. You create chaos ensues, and
yes.
Yeah. No,
it's hard to rein chaos back in. Yeah.
Also, I like the scene where they go back to the building. K and J go back, and the guy reading the newspaper sitting there, he was like, I thought you guys were gonna never get here, or something like that. That mean ladies.
Yeah. Or they get sucked in because of the air pressure.
Yes.
And then
security. Yeah.
Will ends up in a pile of tubes, and he's trying to climb his way out, and I'm like, it's literally like a ball pit. Dude, it's gonna take forever.
Tuck and roll.
Tuck and roll.
Use gravity. Just use gravity. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, no, all because of the light of Zartha.
Something so silly.
And what was the point? Why was she trying to get the light of Zartha? What was the benefit of her having that? Because I really don't remember them ever actually saying it. Was it going to save her planet?
I think it was. Wasn't it in the movie that they went to go and get David Cross from or whatever? They explain it in that movie, and he's like, "No, that's not what happened. It wasn't daytime. It was nighttime. It was raining.
It was raining, and
yeah."
But they never really explained why Sarita wants the light of Zartha. They don't say why she's after it.
I think her particular alien species needs it for something or other.
It is an alien movie that kind of.
And she is
usually these things are not explained.
Yeah, right.
She is a plant. It's a light. She's a planet full of.
Maybe their planet was in darkness and they needed light.
They needed the light of Zartha to survive. Well, then
maybe they're far away from the sun.
Selfish then.
Yeah.
And going back to the post office scene again, like you mentioned, it was Bismarcky, which when I was younger, I didn't know that. And then when I was watching it now, I was like, oh my God, that is so funny. I didn't know it back then.
That
Or
is hilarious.
the kid in the mail thing in the machine.
Smoking a cigarette underneath there.
He's in a ton of stuff. Like he was in Sydney White. He was Terrence in Sydney White, and I'm drawing a blank, but he's been in a ton of things.
Yeah.
And I just think he's adorable.
Also, Kay seeing him in alien form, and then like he wasn't shocked. He just took the cigarette out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Like you should be shocked by seeing an alien, and he was just like,
"No smoking in here." Like,
oh, come on. That's why I like Stoneface Tommy Lee Jones.
Yep.
I seen him in one movie recently, and he was like an old guy, and it was so different from Men in Black. He was like laughing, he was like having fun in the movies. I was like, oh, this is so different.
It was like when he was in a Man of the House. I think it's Man of the House, the one with the girls and the cheerleader, and he's a Texas Ranger, and he has to protect the cheerleader girls or whatever.
Isn't that Debs?
No, I thought it was like Man of the House or something.
No.
The only Man of the House movie I know is with Chevy Chase and JTT.
Yes, that was the other Man of the House. Yes, that's why I was like, I can't remember if it had the same name or not.
That's the first one I thought of, but I knew what you were talking about because I'm pretty sure. Where he has to like protect a bunch of cheerleaders or something because they witnessed a crime.
And I think it's not Ashanti. Who's it? Is it Ashanti? Maybe it is Ashanti. I watched John Tucker Must Die today, so now I've got Ashanti on the brain as she's the cheerleader girl in it. But I feel like that's not right. Hold on.
Anyways, how
Christina Milian. That was who it is.
Yeah.
I was like, I was like, it's cheerleader movies, and I had to, like I said, I watched John Tucker this afternoon, so that was on my brain.
But I mean, like, how gross is Jara? Gross.
Yeah.
I just like take a shower, bro. Like you look so dirty. And like, he's so jaundiced. He's got yellow eyes. Like, just you're not healthy. Take care of yourself.
Eat some spinach or something, yo.
He like lines him up like a bat in baseball. Just yeah, they're strong enough to like pick him up off the ground.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also, he goes to the shop with Rosario Dawson, and he doesn't erase her memory. What if she was to go like to the cops or something, and then and tell? Then like I know they wouldn't be in trouble because they could just neuralize them, but still, it's like
because I liked her.
But I don't think that's something that she would risk either. Because I mean, how crazy would she sound going to the cops? I mean, like, so there's this like secret agency that you guys know nothing about that polices the aliens on the planet, and I just met one, and
I saw an alien with a thing coming out of the back of his backpack with another head. Like, you would get believed.
Like, I think he knew that she was safe. She wouldn't go to the cops, but I think he had a feeling about her. I think it's the fact that the way that she reacted to the news, where he's like, Ben was an alien in this planet, and this is what happened, and la 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 la. And she goes, okay. Yeah. Like, she didn't freak out or be like, no, you're lying, you're absolutely insane, you expect me to believe that. Like, she's just like, okay.
That makes sense.
I think that's why he didn't neuralize her, because she already is one of those people that kind of knew.
Especially the ending. The ending confuses me, though. It does.
Oh, how she's the light?
Yes, because Kay was like, you know what you got to do. She was like, no. He was like, you know what you have to do. And then she does it. And then it's like, so this whole time you just didn't know that you were an alien or whatever? Like, that part I just confused.
Well, because apparently her only superpower is it rains when she cries. How lame is that?
Or the weather changes with her emotions.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of cool, but like, it's not like she needed to learn how to control it or anything. Like, you would think
isn't that just a coincidence, though? Every time you cry, it rains, and you're just like, oh, it's raining outside.
Right, like it's
every time
when it's raining, it's usually gray and black here. So yeah, I'm probably gonna be upset and crying during the day because it's raining.
On those moments where you have like a total sob fest and you're like screaming into your pillow, you're crying in your room, you're under the blanket because you're super upset. You're not looking outside. You're not paying attention to the weather.
No, that's true.
But then there's also something to be said when you're watching a sad movie and you start crying and then all of a sudden, oh look, it's raining.
Yeah,
that would be a tip off for me.
Right.
I don't know. I think that's stupid though. She doesn't have any more cool powers. If I were her, I would be asking Kay, be like, well, what are my powers? What else can I fucking do other than control the weather? with my emotions.
Right? You know more about me than I do.
Yeah.
Not all aliens have cool powers.
Can I breathe on this planet? Do these my fellow aliens look like me? Am I going to be outcast like in that episode of Robot Chicken with E.T.? Am I just going to be an outcast when I get home? Like, the fuck? I would have so many fucking questions.
No, that she hasn't been home ever. So how does she know where she's going? Like, who is she going to meet up with?
Like, could you imagine being her? Like, my heart would be fucking pounding out of my chest. I would be so anxious. I would be throwing up. Like, you're leaving your planet that you were called home for your whole life.
Because some guy told you to go.
Also,
because she never cut herself. Does she bleed red?
She works at a pizza place. She should know, right?
Yeah. Does burns hurt her? Like, I have so many fucking questions.
I also like just every time Will Smith gets into a fight, he gets beat up, but he's confident, and I just like it. It was just hilarious,
right?
He should have died in that opening scene with Jeffrey. How many times did he smoke his head going, how fast?
Yeah.
He should have died in that scene.
Yeah.
Also the scene at the end where Rosario Dawson and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna get you in like 5 seconds. How about we just play this by ear? We're just gonna play this by ear. Just a lot of scenes like that I like.
He has such great comedic timing.
Yeah.
Will Smith.
Oh, Will Smith. He has given us so much. So much. Thank you, Will. Thank you, Will.
So much appreciate. And Tommy Lee Jones also, just like I said, that just playing so stoic. It's so hilarious. It's so good.
Yes.
I found it hilarious when Zed and Kay were talking amongst themselves or something, whatever, and Jay was trying to get their attention, and he finally goes, "Yo, old guys." And I'm like, you're like 50 something now, so
right?
What the fuck are you about?
That's why I thought Zed was older. Like I thought Zed was like, because Zed was an alien, right?
I don't recall that. Like
I thought I could have sworn I thought the second one with it was like a scene with him and the villain. Maybe I'm just imagining maybe I'm thinking of something.
Maybe it's a Mandela effect thing.
Maybe. Or no, sorry, that might be the third one actually. That could be the third one.
Actually, that does sound familiar now that you mention it. Maybe it is in the third one.
Yeah, I believe.
Well, no, I have to watch the third one.
It could be in the third one where they mentioned he's like an alien or something, but somehow, some way, I was imagining so.
That wouldn't surprise me. Like I wouldn't be shocked if that was an actual thing, which I think it is. It does sound familiar. Okay. But yeah, so the very ending of the movie when she flies away and stuff. Who else?
Neuralized from the
Statue of Liberty thing,
right? And he's like, "How do I get one of those? How do I get one of those?" And one thing we also didn't mention throughout all of this is the noisy cricket from the first one. And then he tries to give it back to Tommy Lee in the second one, and he's like, "No, this is your gun." And he's like, "No, I don't remember that."
Pretty sure he got swallowed by a cockroach voluntarily to save his favorite gun.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Pretty sure that's something he'd remember after he was deneuralized.
Right.
Also, since he was neuralized, how did he even know that the Statue of Liberty? How did he even know where the button was for the Statue of Liberty? Like, I don't know. It's just a lot of stuff.
Well, okay. My understanding of it was that he neuralized himself about, excuse me, the Light of Zartha stuff. Just the Light of Zartha stuff. I don't know how, unless it all happened in one time, like bank of time. He was able to neuralize himself to forget that stuff in case, someone kidnapped him for his memory for that information or whatever. So when he was deneuralized to begin with, none of that was actually going to come back anyway. So he would have still remembered the thing about the Statue of Liberty. Like he would have remembered everything about MIB, just not that specific subject. That's my understanding of it.
Imagine if they would have like redid the Statue of Liberty and have it holding up a big neuralizer.
Right, come out of its top and like hold a neuralizer.
That would be great.
Missed an opportunity.
Right.
Or if the neuralizer could have came out the top of the thing, like could have came out instead of just it flashing. That would have been nice too.
Yeah.
Yes, there was a lot of things they could have done, especially since they had to cut out a bulk of it because of the Twin Tower stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like, there was so much more that they could have done and added to it, but I guess like,
jeez, the Twin Towers themselves could have been 2 normalizers. Just
right. Maybe they were.
maybe they were.
But
Yeah.
they had to take it out because of the climate at like in 2002, and that was just post
Yeah.
9/11, and everything was we don't want to upset people, so they took trade centers out of everything at that point.
Yeah,
That would have been an interesting. I would be intrigued.
they're like the perfect shape.
Right?
For that.
Perfect
And they would have
fertilizer.
they could have gotten both sides of the city, right? Like, but the
Mhm.
Statue of Liberty gets like the whole thing because she's 360, but she's not as tall.
No.
Statue of Liberty is definitely not even close to the city, actually. But
No.
I've
it's
never
even
close,
here.
but not close.
That's another
It's-
thing. They made a lot of jokes that like New Yorkers would know, and I'd like to be in on that.
Or if you've been to New York or something, yeah.
I've never been. Never been there. Have you, Prime?
I have.
Oh yeah, like to Times Square and stuff.
Yes. It's busy, but it's nice.
It's on my bucket list, but it's kind of low on the bucket list because I hear it's kind of overrated.
It's not as big as you think it is. Like Times Square, you think it's a lot bigger, and then you're there and you're like, okay, this isn't as big as I thought it was supposed to be.
I've been
Ah.
to the Times Square of London. I've been to Piccadilly. Does that count?
I mean, it might be fun, more, fun and better experience. Because like when you go there, you just basically go there for the photo ops and that's it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because I can imagine the stores are probably way too busy or like just too expensive. I can imagine it being like shopping on Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills or something. Like, yeah, I can't afford even to walk through the store.
I can walk in, look, but I can't do it. That's all.
Hands in my pockets.
Yeah. I had a joke with my mom. We were driving around town, and Aston Martin was driving in front of us.
Oh
And I
yeah.
was like, oh, that rich bastard. My mom's like, I don't even know what that car is. And I'm like, that's exactly the point, Mom. If you don't know the brand, we're too poor to afford it. Sorry.
Or like the Maserati that drives around with Sega.
Right? Like, if you don't know the brand, it's too out of our price range, Mom. Sorry.
Oh,
don't
and I
worry.
feel like I need to mention it. The Batmobile.
Oh, yes, the Batmobile.
The Batmobile drives around with Sega Beach sometimes. Like, I'm shit you not.
Yep.
It's the Batmobile. Yep. Someone did that. Someone could afford that. I don't know. It's one passenger. I mean, how convenient of a vehicle is that?
Right? Not at all.
Speaking of cars, real quick, do you know that they're bringing back the DeLorean?
Really?
It's gonna be ran on gas.
And who's making it?
Are they-
Because like the Delorean company doesn't.
Are they redesigning it?
Yeah.
Or-
I just remember that. I'm gonna just look it up. I just said that it was made. It's gonna be made out of gas.
I feel like I need to look that up.
Right.
Because, like, I really?
Because we
The
watched a
DeLorean.
documentary about the DeLorean Motor Company and everything, and I'm just like, huh.
It says DeLorean making 2022 comeback with electric vehicles.
Luxury electric sports car.
Well then, everything is
Yeah,
new
it looks
again.
the same. It looks the same.
No, of course. That's what people want. They want the nostalgia.
I gotta say, I wouldn't be against buying one.
If they're better than the originals, then maybe, but the originals not so well. There's a reason there's a reason they're hard to find.
Was it only a 2-seater car?
Yes.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I mean, technically, and then they put a flux and pass in the back seat, but you know.
The kids can sit next to it. It's fine.
Right, it's fine. It's just a little plutonium. It's okay. Doesn't
Oh,
hurt
Lord.
anybody.
No, I'm looking at it now. They're definitely gonna try to use this for Back to the Future sales. So I can already see you don't just come back in business for no reason.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Wow. But Men in Black. Men in Black.
Which fun thing about that, what we'll talk about was some Ray-Ban sales actually like doubled after, like tripled after this movie.
I can
But
imagine.
Suits didn't.
Hold on, I had the number here. 1 second.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Uh,
Suits should have doubled too.
They went from 1.6 to 5 million after appearing in the first movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Suits or Ray-Bans?
Ray-Bans.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Ray-Bans because the suits, some people got to get them tailored. Some people just buy suits or whatever. Ray-Bans, you could just go and put them on and have like a black outfit, like black shirt. Yeah, so. I wonder how many people were Men in Black for Halloween that year.
That I don't think I did find, but I'm sure. Because it's pretty easy. Like if your dad had a black suit in his closet, there you go.
Yep.
Probably saw a lot of MIB agents that year.
Right.
Now that I think about it. Yeah, because I think we probably would have went to the bars or something, and
I think you could. I wasn't old enough for the bars in '97, but
I
remember they had a toy that was like the neuralizer. Oh, 2002 you might have been, but yeah, 97 we weren't.
Yeah, 97 I was 14, so that definitely wouldn't have been okay.
No. I mean, it might have been, but you know.
I have a really good ID. Yeah.
Right.
All right.
You just have a neuralizer. I am the age, and then click it. Yeah.
Right. That's how you get into the bars. I'm neuralizing you. It is 19 years old, sir.
How cute are those little guys inside the locker?
No,
okay.
Yes.
I want a locker of my own, like,
people,
worshiper.
Right?
Their little antennae, and then how they run to like the nudie girls thing when they're done.
It was funny that the humans were also in a locker galaxy at the end as well, which was interesting.
Yeah, that I never understood at the end of the movie. So were they just trying to say humans are just nothing? Because they literally zoomed out to all the humans, and then there was just like an alien playing with a ball.
Yeah,
that was the first one. So they showed like the galaxy, like where like we live on planet Earth. It expanded out until it was just a galaxy and ended up being a marble in someone's marble bag, in some alien's marble bag. So it was the same concept with the first one as with the second one with the locker door opening. I think they're really just trying to.
There's more out there.
That there's more out there. That our universe, our worlds, like there's so much more out there than we could ever comprehend.
Yeah. And
like there's just it's just there's so much knowledge out there that we just don't have yet. And like according to movies, that have like futuristic aliens and stuff, we are a primitive species. Like we're allegedly really far behind the rest of the intelligent developed world out there. Supposedly, but who fucking knows?
Is the second movie the one where they open up the door and it's just like all these different aliens? Okay.
They're like in a locker, like at Grand Central, but in an alien world. That's what I get from it. They're just implying that our worlds are much bigger than we expect.
Yeah, just a lot of different stuff. Yeah.
Be accepting of one another.
The truth is out there, like X-Files.
Yeah.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
I never even watched that. Wasn't really into that one. I'd probably watch it now. Right. I could probably be down with it now.
I think I watched the newer one.
There's a new one
with Jordan Peele, I believe he did it.
I like Jordan Peele.
Yeah, there's a newer relaunch, I think.
Yeah.
Huh. Maybe I'll give that one a go.
Yeah. It could be. It's more modern, so it could be. I watched like first 2 episodes. I was like, I can see it, but I was like, I was kind of getting creeped out because the X-Files are creepy things. I was like, I can't do this. Yeah.
So you don't watch Supernatural?
No, I don't watch anything creepy because I just can't.
Aw. I get that.
I can't do scary movies. It's the same thing, like slashers, scary. Yeah, no, can't do them.
I love zombie movies.
It's like I can do scary movies, but I just don't like. I don't know. I just don't like that feeling.
Yeah.
I don't like the feeling of a cheap scare. That's all.
What's an expensive scare?
No, I'm saying a cheap scare is like, obviously if you're watching and it's like quiet and it's just like, like I don't jump scares. Jump scares done out of nowhere are like, I feel like cheap scares.
I'm more of a psychological myself. Like I like Dark Skies. Like that one was really good. Like it got into your head, and I really like the psychological thrillers and everything like that. Not so much the gross out factor.
Yeah.
I know I just said I love zombie movies and those are fucking gross, but I don't know. I'll just, when that part comes on. I don't like seeing people eat each other. Like that's not something that I just like the zombie part of it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Anything else about Men in Black that you want to throw in here?
They have a great theme song. That's
right.
Theme song is great, even though we already talked about it enough.
And the third one was Pitbull, which I didn't realize, which was kind of funny when I was watching it.
It's not the same.
Right. I was just like, what? I was literally, and the song came on, I was like, I've recognized this song. And I was like, this was in the Men in Black song? I was like, okay, I didn't even know that. And I was like, alrighty then. We're just gonna forget about that again.
Cannot top Will Smith and the songs that he makes for his movies.
No, not at all.
Or even his show, obviously.
Yeah. I'm like, a lot of people probably have never even heard the full version of that.
Fresh Prince theme.
Oh my, that is the funniest when people go to karaoke and they sing it and they miss the second verse and it's.
And then they're just kind of like,
yeah, they're like, oh.
I didn't realize this. Yeah.
Guys, you should know better. If you're a true millennial, you know there's more to that song. It was on one of my playlists.
Hilarious.
I enhanced my playlist, and that's a song that popped up. Oh, man.
Will Smith. Thumbs up.
Right? Thumbs up. Yeah. Oh, these movies are fantastic. Like, the second one, like, some of, like, the action scenes where, like, you could obviously see they were on wires and stuff. Little cheesy. Little bit kind of whatever. But, like, yeah, I'm sorry. You can't beat the first one. The first one's fantastic. When he's like steps on the road, she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, was that your auntie? Oh, that was your cousin right there, wasn't it?" Gonna step on your family.
I felt like that was all improv. By the way, I just feel like it was.
Yeah.
But
that's what makes Will Smith so great. Is his comedic timing and everything. You don't know if it's part of the script or if it's ad lib. Well, that being said, I think that might be our time. Well, thank you so much for being with us today, Prime. It was a lot of fun. We hope to have you back.
Thank you very much.
Please feel free, plug yourself, throw out your links.
Oh yeah. Okay. No, so I do Prime Nostalgia podcast, which is like basically just a podcast where we talk about nostalgia, not to make it sound simple, but that's what we do. So I'm gonna just try to keep it simple. We do talk about movies. We sometimes talk to like guests of different TV shows and movies as well. We have like nostalgic topics, like we do top fives or whatever, or
Super Bowl. I was listening to that one
the
other week.
Super Bowl. We recently did like our top. We did like a 90s crush bracket.
I did see that one. I haven't listened to it yet. I saw it on your Instagram.
Okay. Yes, we had a fan voting. I'm gonna just say, who you think won probably won. So that's all I'm saying.
Course.
And we have fun over there. So you can follow us at Prime Nostalgia Pod on Instagram. It's where we mostly are with our promotion, but then we're everywhere. You can listen to podcasts and YouTube. You can follow me at KVNG Prime Time. I don't do nothing, but you can follow me too. And then I just I like to hang out. You'll probably see me here again.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Sure. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to come and talk to us today. We really appreciate it. And with that, I think that's our episode. Hope you guys enjoyed yourself. I definitely did.
As we always do. And I guess we will see you in the next episode, yeah?
Yeah. Have a great night, guys. Peace out.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of our podcast. If you liked it, be sure to check out our previous episodes on our website at www.millennialspod.com. And also, you can check them out on Spotify, Anchor, Google, or Apple Podcasts. While you're there, hit the follow and subscribe buttons so you can stay up to date on all of our latest episodes. Also, you can follow us on all of the socials, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, at Turn of the Millennials Pod, and like us on Facebook to leave a comment and a review. We greatly appreciate it. We will see you next episode.